أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Well, today we're going to take a break from Surah Al-Qamar because it is the 17th of Ramadan and we are going to look at the Battle of Badr. My goodness, we won! We won despite all the odds. And you know what? There's a dua of the Prophet that we're going to look at that literally makes the impossible possible. So you know what? This day, just use it. Use it for anything. Do the dua of the Prophet. I mean, can you imagine? When you hear the story, you will see what a difference it made and how Allah just helps. All you got to do is call out and reach out to Him. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, let's look at the recitation of Qur'an. And we're looking at the first ayah of Juz 17. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون. Now this is the first ayah of Surah Al-Anbiya. Surah Al-Anbiya is sort of stories of the trials of the prophets. It also mentions prophets like Dhul Kifl, which you can't find in any other place. So it's a beautiful surah. It's Anbiya, the prophets. And it starts off with اقترب للناس hisabuhum. That means it's coming near. Remember, Surah Al-Qamar starts with Iqtaraba as well. What's coming near for human beings? Hisabuhum. Their accounting, their audit. It's coming very near. That means accountability is here all the time. But he says, وَهُمْ فِي غَفْلَةٍ مُعْرِضُونَ. They are so heedless, completely heedless that they're accountable, that they turn away. They ignore the warnings. And this sort of sets the tone for the surah because you see the surah is all about warnings in essence. There's good news and then there's warnings. And warnings are good because they remind you. They remind you of something that we shouldn't be doing. But let's now look at the du'as for the month of Ramadan. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا علي يا عظيم يا غفور يا رحيم أنت الرب العظيم الذي ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير وهذا شهر عظمته وكرمته وشرفته وفضلته على الشهور وهو الشهر الذي فرضت صيامه عليه وهو شهر رمضان الذي أنزلت فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان وجعلت فيه ليلة القدر وجعلتها خيرا من 1000 شهر فيا ذا المن ولا يمن عليك من علي بفكاك رقبتي من النار في من تمن عليه وادخلني الجنة برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم أدخل على أهل القبور السرور. اللهم أغني كل فقير. اللهم أشبع كل جائع. اللهم اكسو كل عريان. اللهم اقضي دين كل مدين. اللهم فرج عن كل مكروب. اللهم رد كل غريب. اللهم فك كل أسير. اللهم أصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين. اللهم اشف كل مريض. اللهم سد فقرنا بغناك. اللهم غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك. اللهم اقض عنا الدين وأغننا من الفقر إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم رب شهر رمضان الذي أنزلت فيه القرآن وافترضت على عبادك فيه الصيام صل على محمد وآل محمد وارزقني حج بيتك الحرام في عام هذا وفي كل عام واغفر لي تلك الذنوب العظام فإنه لا يغفرها غيرك يا رحمن يا علام. We will now recite the dua for the 17th day of the month of Ramadan. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم اهدني فيه لصالح الأعمال. واقض لي فيه الحوائج والآمال يا من لا يحتاج إلى التفسير والسعال يا عالما بما في صدور العالمين صل على محمد وآله الطاهرين. O Allah, on this day, guide me, show me the way towards righteous actions, that which is good. وَقْضِ لِي فِيهِ, and fulfill my hajat, hawaij, wal amal, and my expectations, my aspirations. يَا مَنْ لَا يَحْتَاجُ إِلَى التَّفْسِيرِ, or one who doesn't need an explanation, nor does he question my aspirations or my hajat. يَا عَلِمًا بِمَا فِي صُدُورِ الْعَالِمِينَ, and you know, oh you who knows what is hidden inside of the souls of the chests of everyone in the world. Salli ala Muhammad, send blessings on Muhammad and his progeny, the most pure. But now we're going to look at the Battle of Badr. Oh my goodness. So let's have a look at what happened here. So the Battle of Badr is one of the sort of greatest battles of Islam. When the Prophet heard the news that there was a trade caravan going to Syria from Mecca under the leadership of Abu Sufyan, he sent two people to gather some information because it sounded a bit dodgy. And they found out that this was a large caravan in which all the Meccans had shares. And the Quraysh had decided to put all their savings into it and use the profits to be able to buy arms and horses and other items of war against the Muslims. And the news was quite disturbing for the Prophet. So he knew that this was going to be, this is going to be a battle, and he'd rather have it outside Medina. So he left Medina with 313 men, 2 horses, and 70 camels. And just imagine, so they're leaving because they know this is going to be a battle. They go to Badr, which is a stopping point for the caravans. Now the Quraysh, remember, had taken all the property of the Muslims. When they went for Hijrah from Mecca to Medina, they took everything. And that was really unfair. Abu Sufyan feared that there would be an attack from the Muslims. So even with all the people he had, he knew that they didn't have much, but he feared an attack, and he sent a messenger to Mecca telling them of his fears. So you can imagine, an army of people was sent. So there was 1,000 men, 100 horses, 700 camels. And you got to compare that to 313 men, 2 horses, and 70 camels. Now, Abu Sufyan takes another route. He's still scared, so he takes another route back to Mecca, avoiding Badr. But when he's back in Mecca, he calls Abu Jahl, and Abu Jahl is too proud. He wants to crush the Muslims with his large army. So with that big army, they go and they meet on Badr on the 17th of Ramadan, 2 after Hijrah. So there was Arab custom. In Arab custom, first there's 1-to-1 combat, and you've got famous Quraysh warriors like Utbah and Shu'aib and Walid, and they all challenge the Ansars from Medina. And the Quraysh refuse to fight the Ansars. They say, no, we want our equals. We want people from Mecca. So the Prophet sends Ubaidah, Hamza, and Imam Ali alayhi salam. And you know what happened. Well, yes, Imam Ali's team won. The Quraysh got very disturbed, and they didn't want to keep to the rules. So they began attacking en masse, like all of them. They just started attacking. Now, in the thick of the battle, can you imagine? The Prophet does a dua. I'd like you to remember this dua. It's beautiful. And he does this dua, and I'll tell you exactly what Allah replies in Surah Al-Anfal. But read the dua with me. Allahumma anta thikati fi kulli karb. You are what I rely on in every difficulty. وَأَنْتَ رَجَائِي فِي كُلِّ شِدَّةٍ. In every difficulty as well, any distress, you are the one I hope in. وَأَنْتَ لِي فِي كُلِّ أَمْرٍ نَزَلَ بِي طَاقَةٌ وَعُدَّةٌ. And you are in me in every matter that descends on me. You support me, and you are there to hold me through it. فَكَمْ مِنْ كَرْبٍ بِضَعْفِ فِيهِ الْفُعَادُ. How many sorrows that weaken the heart, and the lack of solutions. وَتَقَلَّ فِيهِ الْهِيلَةِ وَيُخْذَلُ فِيهِ الْقَرِيبِ. And when all your near ones, وَيُخْذَلُ فِيهِ الْقَرِيبِ, they leave you. وَيَشْمُتُ بِهِ الْعَدُوُ, and the enemies taunt you. وَتَعْيَ فِيهِ الْأُمُورِ, and everything sort of doesn't work out. أَنزَلْتَهُ بِكَ وَشَكَوْتَهُ إِلَيْكَ. You know what? I leave it to you, and I complain only to you. Remember Prophet Ayub said, إنما أشكو بثي وحزني إلى الله. I only complain about my grief and my sorrow to Allah. The same thing. راغبا فيه إليك. He says, you know what? You're the one I rely on. أمن سواك. Who else is there besides you? ففرجته وكشفته عني. Make it easy. Take this difficulty away from me. وكفيتنيه. You know, you're enough for it. وأنت ولي كل نعمة. You are the giver of all bounties. وصاحب كل حاجة. And you fulfill all my needs. ومنتهى كل رغبة. And you are the one I rely on. You're my hope for everything. فلك الحمد كثيرا. And for you is excessive praise. Isn't it beautiful? And the moment he does his dua, Allah answers in Surah Al-Anfal. Surah Al-Anfal is Surah number 8, ayah 9. Allah says, إِذْ يَسْتَغِيثُونَ رَبَّكُمْ. When you reached out, you pleaded to your Rabb. فَاسْتَجَابَ لَكُمْ. He answered you. إِنِّي مُمَدِّكُمْ بِأَلْفٍ مِّنَ الْمَلَائِكَةِ. He sent you 1,000 of the angels. Murdifin, in row after row. So now imagine the enemies are looking and they can see all these angels. And they got frightened. They begin to retreat. And you know, they struck terror in their hearts. Imam Ali and his team and the Prophet still kept on fighting. Well, 70 prisoners were taken by the Muslims. The prisoners were treated with kindness and some became Muslims. In later days, they were to say, "Blessed be the men of Medina. They made us ride while they walked. They gave us wheat and bread to eat when there was little of it, but they only had a few dates." The rich prisoners paid ransom and were set free, and others were asked to gain their freedom by teaching 10 Muslims to read and write. Can you imagine the phenomenal battle? And the Battle of Badr strengthened the faith of the Muslims. But I can't stress to you this dua. Just read it. And you know, there is I was reading somewhere, and maybe you could do this. So recite a salawat. Then 11 times recite Surah, ayah number 9 of Surah Al-Anfal, the one that I just recited, and then end with the salawat and ask Allah for your hajat. The impossible will become the possible. So today is a day when to ask for the impossible. You know, you think, oh, this will not happen. It will definitely happen. Just trust in Allah. Let's end with the Surah Al-Fatiha and the dua for protection. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. صدق الله العظيم. Ask Allah to give the thawab to all the marhumin, especially those of your family. Pray for those who are ill and those who are in trouble. لي خمسة أطفي بها هر الوباء الحاتمة المصطفى والمرتضى وأبناهما والفاطمة. جزاكم الله خير. Inshallah, I'll see you tomorrow.